Hello and welcome to our IZINK's card project. Today we'll be working on a happy birthday sailboat card. Here's a shot of all the products I used to create this card. Let's begin by cutting out the squares you will need to complete the card. All the products I used will be listed in the card project kit. Let's begin here by spreading our IZINK's ink onto our craft mat. Now, depending where you want the color, that's where you would spread it out. We've been playing a lot with these colors, so you'll notice that I have to pour some onto the craft mat, but each one comes with a little dauber. So we're at the bottom of the barrel here, that's why I poured some out. So all I'm going to do is layer the color onto the craft mat in the pattern that I wish it to be on the paper. There are many different ways to apply this to paper, but this is the way I decided to do it for this particular card. Have fun and play around with it. You may want to pounce your paper on it and twist and slide. Here I'm just going to place the paper down and gently sweep it to the side so that there's a little bit of a flow to it, so it kind of looks like water and clouds. I add a little bit of water here to give the IZINKs a little bit more movement when I apply it to my card. So here I'm just going to place the paper down, gently tap down and move it a little bit side to side, up and down, and then I'm going to slide and pull off the craft mat. And notice here on the corner that I missed a little bit, so I'm just going to go back with my paintbrush here and fill in the missed spots. Each time you do this, your results will be different, so go ahead and play with it until you find a pattern that you like. I really liked how the colors were laid out here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water, a little bit more color, and try again to see if I can get the results that I'm looking for. Once again, place the paper down, move it around just a little bit left to right, sliding it left to right, up and down, and then you're just going to drag that off your craft mat. And again, beautiful sunset look. I quite didn't like that one, so I did it again. Once again, have fun and play with it, and you'll get some amazing results. Now to finish the card, I cut the sailboat, and before I take it out of the die, well, I cut and embossed it, and before I take it out of the die, I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the sails with the IZINK's yellow ink, and a little bit of color to the boat part of my sailboat with the metallic blue. I didn't want these components to be too dark because I wanted the background to really stand out. So I just gave them a little bit of shading. And just pop that right out of the die. I also cut out all the little seagulls that go onto the card. This die comes with 5 different seagulls, but I only used 3 in the finished product. Feel free to use as many as you like. Now for the first layer of my card, I did a solid blue, so I'm just going to show you here simply that you can just take your IZINKs and paint it directly on your card. Once again, this bottle is almost empty, so I'm just going to pour it on a little bit. It really does go a long way. I only wanted to color the outside of the box, leaving the inside clear since we're going to be layering it anyways. No need to apply ink there. I just keep brushing until I get a nice smooth finish with no streak lines, and then allow to dry. I'm also going to do a little orange piece that matches the orange I did in the background for the sentiment. Again, I'm just going to pour some here because the jar is almost empty. But you just want to keep painting in the same direction back and forth until you get a streak-free look. Once again, set aside to dry. I'm just going to use this happy birthday sentiment from the stamp set to stamp the happy birthday sentiment for my card right onto the dry piece of IZINKed paper. Now we're just going to assemble the card with the bottom layer first, the second layer just being a clear white, And then the top layer being the IZINK colored part that we did that looks like the sea in the sky. Now remember, everyone's will turn out different, but keep playing with it and you'll find a result that you like. Once we have that, we'll place our sentiment on there and our sailboat and our seagulls. And here you go, the beautiful IZINK's happy birthday card.